drawing this back to the title and around the workplace. So what one of the things that we focus on from a business point of view is mental health in the workplace and making sure we make adjustments to be able to support people and provide a supportive environment. Just like we're talking about having a supportive environment at home, what advice or ideas could you give to support people in the workplace?
First of all, it's really interesting actually, because when I went back to like not working in, because I used to perform, and in there, you know, I didn't need to, I didn't feel like I had to exclaim who I was. When I went back to working in an office, it became a question again, and that's a big thing, because why do I have to come out again? Like, I'm already out. Like, you don't, and this is changing. It is different from when you know, and that was only sort of 5-6 years ago when I'm sort of back into an office environment. But I think the best thing you can be is just open. Obviously there will be, as you will know, there will be certain HR things that you have to do if somebody is transitioning, and being supportive, and that kind of thing. So there's a whole load of legislature about that. But the best thing you can be is just supportive and welcoming. And, you know, and if you really want to have that conversation with somebody, just go up to them in the politest way and just say, look, would you like to talk about this or would you not? I think that is quite, that's quite big, and not from a point of wanting to find out information, but just because you want to have that conversation with somebody. So that's all I would probably say, is just making sure that you've got, you're all up to date on your HR stuff. And also, you know, you're just there. If you're an employee and, you know, you've got an asshole in the back of the room taking the piss or being, you know, having toxic masculinity, you know, call that person out on it, because you don't know what that can actually, because I get incredibly anxious when I am in a room full of like men, not like, and not the kind of men that are like rugby players and stuff like that, because I went to university with them and I've been around them my entire life, so I know how to talk to them. But it's just, there's and you probably may have walked into it as well. It's just slightly old school.
Yeah.
Like, and they can be quite intimidating.
Yeah.
And so, and if you know somebody that, you know, you can tell when people are being intimidated. And I think even just going up to somebody and just saying hello and just being that beacon, you have no idea how helpful that is, because, you know, you want to feel safe at the end of the day. You don't want to be sort of picked on, or and especially in this sort of and if you've had like bad experiences before, because if you're an employee, and I speak from my own experience, if you're an employee and somebody has rang up and gone, we're no longer doing any business with you because you are who you are, first of all, ridiculous anyway, but you know, that happens, and to some people that's absolutely acceptable to say that.
Yeah. And
again, if I said that about, you know, your wife, Maggie, and said, oh, I'm not going to use you because you've got a woman running your training, how outrageous is that?
Absolutely outrageous.
So
isn't it?
So I think support, if you can identify somebody, if you're in a big group setting or you're in a networking setting, and also as well, I think sometimes some of the community think they have to play a role.
Mm-hmm.
So for many years, I was always the gay best friend, the sassy gay best friend, you know, the Damien of Mean Girls, if you've ever watched Mean Girls. And it was only until one of my friends, it was only until one of my friends sort of turned around and said, Eddie, you don't need to be that. You can just be you. Because I wanted to be, you know, I wanted to be liked and da-da-da. And I thought that was the way to do it. I was wrong. But and I think as well, if you do see that, if you see a member of the community sort of playing a role, you can just be like, you don't need to play that role. You know, you can just be who you Yeah.
Okay, and I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because we can all be supportive, or we should all aim to be more supportive, regardless of what challenges or what situations people are in. And I think tolerance is quite important as well. I thought it was interesting what you say about, obviously, the different letters, and some people labeling is very important to them as well. But I think from sort of all sides, it's very important that we're all tolerant with each other, because we're all always learning. Like you say, it's very important that, we don't know what journey someone's been on, and we don't know the way they've been brought up either. And sometimes people's views aren't really their fault. Maybe they just need a little bit of education too, and tolerance and caring, and tolerance and caring for each other, and just going, do you know what, like, we're all human beings, and if we just show a little bit more love and respect to each other, then we're all just going to get along, and it's going to be just fine, and we can all just carry on not hurting anyone, and just being happy, which is great, right? So,
which is a real simple concept though as well, isn't it?
It is really, yeah.
But yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate your time. Please do follow me at Pete Rushmer on LinkedIn, or on Facebook, follow Flagship Training UK, and you can find us on YouTube too at Flagship UK.